genius for murder. Then in 2003, Los Angeles head deputy district attorney Stephen Kay reviewed the evidence I'd collected and declared the Black Dahlia murder solved. Old district attorney files and forensics told the story. Only after delving into my father's dark mind was I able to explain why he posed Elizabeth Short's body the way he did and carved the ghastly smile into her face. George Hodel did nothing by accident. He lived his life as a bizarre game that trumped even those of his hero, the Marquis de Sade, taunting and outwitting the police, seducing and brutally murdering innocent women. He didn't stop in 1950, nor did he begin in the 1940s. Nor was Elizabeth Short just an ex-girlfriend. I know now that my father was also responsible for a series of infamous murders in Chicago, where he was known for a time as the Lipstick Killer, Manila, where the local press dubbed him the Jigsaw Murderer, and the Bay Area of California, where he called himself Zodiac. It's a bizarre, terrifying, and surreal story that will alter criminal history, exonerate the innocent, and change the way we think about the motives and signatures of serial killers. Hang on. Steve Hodel, December 2008. Part 1. Dr. George Hill Hodel. Chapter 1. The most fortunate of persons is he who has the most means to satisfy his vagaries. Marquis de Sade. Who was George Hodel, really? My half-sister Tamar, who over the course of her fascinating peripatetic life befriended many illustrious men, including Lenny Bruce, Jim Morrison, Harry Belafonte, Otis Redding, John Phillips, and others, describes him as the most powerful, intelligent, handsome man she's ever known. This, despite the fact that he taught her how to perform oral sex at 11, had sex with her at 14 in the presence of 3 other adults, and branded her a liar the rest of her life. Tamar's best friend, Michelle Phillips of the Mamas and the Papas, remembers opening a hotel room door in San Francisco in 1967 and seeing George for the first time. "I almost fainted," she said. "The aura of evil he gave off was so strong and palpable, it almost knocked me off my feet. That's the first and only time anything like that has ever happened to me." As Tamar tells the story, George entered the Mamas and the Papas suite at the St. Francis Hotel with 2 beautiful young Asian women and immediately took over, ordering around the waiters and telling the band what they should and shouldn't eat before a concert. Tamar likens him to the charismatic ballet impresario Boris Lermontov in the movie The Red Shoes. Impeccable clothes, sophisticated European manners, a deep, cultivated voice. Later that evening, a hash pipe was passed. Dad didn't partake. Tamar, who knew he'd smoked in the past, asked one of his Asian companions why. "Before, when he smoked hash, he made me lock him in his bathroom," the young woman explained. "He always made me lock him in there and told me not to let him out. George said that when he smokes, sometimes he does terrible things. He would make me lock him in the bathroom and he would cry and stay there all night." Dad left Los Angeles in 1950 after the very public incest trial involving his relationship with Tamar. He was declared innocent, and thereafter blew into town every 6 months or so unannounced. My brothers and I would be summoned to the lobby of some glamorous LA hotel and made to wait hours for the privilege of sharing a few minutes with the great man, who was on some important business and usually had to run to an urgent meeting. During one such visit, he presented me with a Tinker Toy set for my birthday. I was 16 years old. In a drunken rage, my mother had once called him a monster. She said, "He's a terrible man and he's done terrible things." The next day, she denied it. After 40 years of living the life of an expatriate in Asia, Dad retired to San Francisco and moved into a modern apartment overlooking the bay with his 4th wife, June. Once, when I visited, I brought a loaf of bread, but couldn't find a knife in the kitchen. When I asked June for one, she answered, No, the great man doesn't allow any knives in the house." Tamar wanted all her life to confront Dad.